On the wild west coast of Vancouver Island, far out at the edge of Clayoquot Sound, a few brave fishermen are in a race against the rising tide and pounding waves. What's the harvest like today? Good pickings?
It's good pickings today.
They're after the Gooseneck barnacle, and you'll find the best ones on these far-out rock islands that are only accessible for a few hours a day at low tide. Harvester Marcel Martin has to work fast to fill his bag.
We want to dig down deep into the rock before we start prying on them, otherwise we'll just kill them.
Which part of it do you eat?
Break off the top and eat the meat there.
Like lobsters or shrimp, goosenecks are crustaceans. Their high-priced meat sells for up to $80 a pound. The largest market is in Spain, but high-end restaurants here and in the U.S. also serve them up.
When I first started, I only picked 20 or 30 pounds. And now it takes a long time to get the hand on it.
It's very rare these days to develop a new commercial fishery. This is just the first year, and it's the only one of its kind in North America.
It could be a really big industry. Just got to get the word out.
Gooseneck barnacles grow on the rocks all over the west coast of Vancouver Island, but really it's only out here where you get the best ones. That's because the barnacles like the high tides, and they especially like that pounding surf. All of which makes harvesting gooseneck barnacles extremely risky. How dangerous is it to be a gooseneck barnacle harvester?
It's pretty dangerous. Every time you step off the boat, you're putting your life on the line.
It's easy to slip, and more than once, the waves almost swamped our camera. It's hard to be out here and not be overwhelmed by the water, by the sounds, and by the remoteness of where this place is. What's it like for you?
What's it like for me? This is home. I feel blessed to be out here harvesting from the land.
In a way, the danger may help this fishery survive by keeping it small and manageable. Staff at the Vancouver Aquarium want to encourage that. Their scientists are here playing a key role monitoring this harvest.
This is one of 52 rocks in Clayoquot Sound that the barnacle harvesters come to collect barnacles. Each of these sites have individually been assessed in terms of a stock assessment, and they actually have a specific quota.
Loren Schiller is part of the aquarium's Ocean-Wise program. It assesses local fisheries and then advises consumers on what seafood is sustainable to eat, a list that now includes the gooseneck.
It's important to try and encourage people around the country to tap into their local waters and eat species that aren't too far from home, because a couple years ago, no one would ever thought of eating gooseneck barnacles.
Gooseneck harvesting is actually not new, but you have to go back decades to find the last time anyone did it commercially. Back then, harvesters came from all over Vancouver Island, and they picked the rocks clean.
Overharvesting is a big concern for our fishermen.
Andrew Jackson is the fisheries manager with the local Taloquiet First Nation, where most of the barnacle harvesters come from.
We have learned from past mistakes where they were over-harvesting, too many people harvesting, and the next thing you know, nobody knew, hey, what's the harvest rate? What can it sustain?
This year, the harvest will likely be just a few tons, tiny compared to, say, the catch of crab or shrimp. But while the money isn't huge, its impact locally will be significant, benefiting dozens of First Nations families.
And they're going to pump out a lot of their own liquid.
So, now that the barnacle has recovered, the task is shifting to marketing this small-scale fishery. So this is them? As a high-end seafood treat that kind of has the texture of calamari and tastes a bit like crab. Goosenecks aren't about to displace mussels or oysters from restaurant appetizer menus, but at a time when so many species are in trouble, here's one that's making a comeback. Chris Brown, CBC News, in Clayoquot Sound, BC.